So I want to take a minute today to talk about something that a lot of people call phrasing. Now, when a lot of people think about phrasing, they think about the notes you're choosing. So, if you're playing in the pentatonic scale, it's about, say starting on the root note, maybe ending on a third or ending on a fifth or something like that. But phrasing is much more than just the note you choose. As a matter of fact, the rhythm you choose is just as important as the notes. So we're going to talk about it. Hopefully it helps you. Let's dive in. So I want to give you a couple of examples of how rhythm in phrasing really changes things. And for example, if I just take this major pentatonic scale and I'm just kind of running this up, that doesn't sound unique, it doesn't sound original, it's not ear-catching, and that's because we're not thinking rhythmically. But if I just change the rhythm just slightly, I'm not changing the notes at all, but just changing the rhythm, all of a sudden we've got a unique, iconic lick that everybody recognizes, and it's still the same notes, but we're not just wandering around inside here, we're giving it a rhythmic pattern that becomes unique and original. And I'm going to give you another example. Let's just stay in A, and I'm just going to walk this major scale down. And once again, it's not original, it's not unique, it's not iconic, but if I just change the rhythm a little bit, not the notes, same order of the notes, and all of a sudden, we've got, once again, a unique, iconic lick that everybody recognizes. And that's because the rhythm at which you play these notes makes a huge difference in your phrasing. So, in these instances, I'm just walking up this major pentatonic scale. So, we all talk about like just don't run the scales up and down. Well, you can. You can certainly run the scales up and down and create something iconic, but the rhythm at which you run it up or down really changes the way in which it comes across. So let's use this in an example. Let's change the rhythm of a really simple lick and let's see how it would change the feeling or the vibe of the song. So I'm still going to be in A, and I'm going to come up here in my minor pentatonic scale, and I'm just going to pick a really easy lick, something like this. So that's not a difficult lick, and I'm thinking a rhythm like this behind it. And that gives us a certain vibe, a certain feeling if we're using that phrasing. But let's just change the rhythm of it. I'm not going to change the notes at all. I'm not going to change the order of the notes. I'm just going to change the rhythm at which I play it. So still got this rhythm of the song going. And all of a sudden, just because I changed the rhythm at which I played this, all of a sudden I get a different vibe and I get a different feeling. Let me explain the importance of rhythmic phrasing to you like this. We're all wanting to go learn all these new licks and all these new things, so we're constantly looking up videos and trying to expand our lick vocabulary, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. What I would suggest to you, though, is that you should take the licks you already know and just change the rhythms a little bit. Bend this string instead of bending this one. Hold that bend a little longer. Just change the rhythm around, and all of a sudden you've got a bunch of different licks out of ones that you already know. And all you've done is change the rhythm. You haven't changed the notes, you haven't changed the order of the notes. All you've done is change the rhythm, and it'll give you a completely different vibe. And I hear lots of great solos in lots of great songs from masterful guitarists, and they're not playing that many different licks. What they're doing is taking the licks that they're playing and just changing the rhythm to them, and all of a sudden they're getting, complete solos out of really simple ideas. And we all look and go, wow, they're an amazing guitar player, and it is true, they're amazing because they're using rhythmic phrasing. It's not that they're running all over the place, they're just taking really simple ideas, really simple licks, and just changing them up slightly. So I really do hope that you work on this. work on changing the rhythms of these licks you already know, and what you'll find is, well, you know a dozen licks. Well, now you know hundreds of licks because you're using the same lick and just changing the rhythm. So really focus on this when you're trying to think about phrasing, because the rhythm at which you play these notes is just as important, if not more important, than the notes you actually play. So I really do hope this helps, and if there's something else you need, as always, just reach out to me. I'll be glad to help you.